All right, so new question. 15-minute daily scrums. I hear that they're unrealistically short. Like in the real world, you really can't have daily scrums under 15 minutes. Oh, but I do contest. So I think there are definitely ways we can keep a daily scrum to under 15 minutes. And let's talk about 5 ways we can do it. All right, Yin?
Yeah, I think we can get it done. Too much work in flight is usually an issue, so reduce the number of items in progress. Let's say you have 5 developers in a conversation. If you're talking about 5 different things that are not connected, that's a problem. So reduce that to something that's more collaborative, and then you're going to reduce the time talking. So less work in progress.
That's a good one. I mean, if you take that one right there and basically focus yourself on a sprint goal, you might realize that there's a lot of work that you would normally do, you probably don't always necessarily need to do. So with a focus on the sprint goal, we have sort of a theme as to what we're talking about in that daily scrum and a way to filter out the noise of things that we don't necessarily need to be talking about at that very moment. Part of keeping these meetings down to 15 minutes is a razor sharp focus on why we're there and what we're hoping to achieve. I would even go as far as saying, let's make it 10 or 5 minutes. How do we get it to be as short as possible so we can actually go back to work and razor sharp focus on the work and the goals that surround that work? I definitely think are important.
Yeah, I agree. I think keeping surprises not just allocated for daily scrum, but dealing with them throughout the 24-hour period is a good idea. That will reduce the amount of, wow, I didn't know that happened the previous day. And you could create a lot more coherence to the conversation. So yeah, 5 minutes, 10 minutes are a lot more realistic when we're not bringing all the baggage from the previous 24 hours. So talk throughout the day, not just a daily scrum.
How about use a virtual timer? I mean, for those of us that are doing all of our work remote, doesn't it just make sense to use a timer? It's built right into Zoom. I can't speak for Teams or some of the other leading brands. But what I can say is if you got a timer up and you know we've only got 15 minutes to cover a certain amount of things, and we can all see that timer elapsing, we know we got to wrap it up within some sort of a time box, and we can't just go on and on and on in endless circles about whatever, nonsense, Packer game. Sorry, they just won the other day. It was crazy. 3 seconds that right at the end, they kick a field goal and won the game. Keep focused, put a timer up. That can help dial it in. What else we got in here?
You haven't seen each other for 24 hours, which is not a cool thing. But when that's the case, you often end up bringing the previous night's conversation and ends up being, I think you call it the water cooler chatter, and that starts to chew away at your 15 minutes. Rather than just having your 15 minutes for daily scrum, stick to that and call it an event. And then you can chat after or before, figure out another time to do your water cooler talk.
You're going to have that water cooler talk anyway, so just have it, but keep it out of the daily scrum.
Yeah.
Having a dedicated day per week is something I've seen, or even before the daily scrum, we have like an additional 15 minutes where you can kind of just pop your way in and say hi to everybody. Hey, how was your weekend? How was the game? How was this? And then daily scrum starts promptly, time box it, we're out of there. Those are pretty good 5. I bet we can come up with 5 more, but maybe in a different video.
Easily. Yeah.